Hey guys! So I'm going to do another one of these videos where there's no editing, it's just me being real, talking to you guys. I promise after this week there will be a funny video coming up soon, and yeah, but I felt like I really wanted to make this video. I hope it's not going to be too long, but I really don't know. I don't think it will be because I don't have much to say, but I also have meaningful things to say. Okay, so I don't really know how to start this. Basically, let's start by, okay. Last year, as some of you may know, I lived in Maine. I went to a small school named Penquis, and there was this teacher there. And he was, now that I look back on it, one of my best teachers that I think I've ever had. And I didn't see that at the time. I saw him as someone that just only cared about school and thought that I should only get work done in his class, and I thought he was not an awful teacher, but I didn't listen to him. I didn't follow what he was telling me to do, even though I know it was in the best interest for me. And so after that, I moved back to New York. I go to a new school now. But this teacher passed away. And I remember hearing the news. It was the night after I had a bunch of my friends over, and actually it was the night after I got a concussion. Well, yeah, it was like midnight when I heard the news, so technically it was like the day after I got the concussion, but it was still like that night. Excuse me, guys, sorry, still getting over being sick. Anyway, I was sitting in my bed watching Mrs. Doubtfire and scrolling through Facebook, and I saw someone post, come on, Mr. C, you can get through this, or something like that, and I messaged them, and I'm like, is everything okay? What's going on? And they told me he was in the hospital. Now, for privacy reasons, I'm not going to say what he was in the hospital for, what happened. I don't even know this full story, honestly. But yeah, so he was obviously in the hospital, and I'm like, well, I hope he's okay. And I remember I prayed for him to push through whatever it was that made him, that I prayed for him to push through whatever he was in the hospital for. And what was it, like maybe an hour later, I saw on someone's Snapchat story, rest in peace, Mr. C. And I messaged them and I'm like, you can't be serious. Like he's a strong dude. Like, there's no way whatever happened could have had him, like, this is a really hard video. Wow. I didn't believe this person, and I'm like, are you really, like, how do you know? And I was questioning them, and I'm like, how do you know? You wouldn't know. You weren't there. You're not at the hospital with him. You wouldn't know. And the person told me that her best friend was not at the hospital, but heard from someone at the hospital with him that he had passed away. And I still didn't believe it. I remember, like, sitting there and I was in tears because I couldn't believe it. Mr. C, like, no, he's this amazing, strong guy that I really wish I would have appreciated while I was in school with him. And when I found out the next day, after finally going to sleep, I remember finding out the next day that he really did pass away, and I felt awful about it. I remember thinking to myself, wow, I was a terrible student of his. I can't believe, like, I never listened to him. I mean, okay, I listened to him. I did my work in that class, but I never did good in that class. Like, I didn't stay after with him like I should have, probably. I didn't get great grades there. I honestly did not pass that class because I just thought of him as a teacher that only cared about school, and I didn't want to stay after with him. I didn't want to get the extra help when in reality that's all he was trying to give me was help. And I really wish I would have realized this sooner. But anyway, back to where I was. I remember the next day I woke up and someone posted, I think it was actually the school district, posted on Facebook this long paragraph about Mr. C, and I remember just crying, and it was absolutely awful, and I still get very upset about it, and I wish I would have appreciated him while I was there and while he was in my life. And it's not like he was old. He was, I don't know how old he was, to be honest with you, but he was a year, I think, away from retirement. So it's not like he was like a super old teacher that was just there, or anything like that. Like he was fairly young, and just to, I don't know, the feeling that he's not there anymore, like even though I don't go to that school, I don't know if I can ever walk in there and feel the same again, like to not hear his voice yelling at kids about PDA, or I remember he would always make us spit out our gum in his class before we walked in, and if we had it, he would make us throw it out. And then he had a bucket, a plant holder, a pot, yeah, one of the ones that you hang, but he had it in a box, and he had us all put our phones in there before the beginning of class, and he would threaten to put water all over them if we didn't listen. And it's honestly crazy to think that he's actually not there anymore, and that someone else has taken over his room, and it's not his classroom anymore. I can tell you, I still, when I'm doing work and I'm like working on something, I listen to classical music because I know it helps me concentrate. That's what he had us do during his class. No matter what day it was, no matter what he was teaching, he always had that classical music playing in the background. And it was, yeah. It's just crazy to think he's actually gone. And yeah, so I'm not making this video for, oh, I'm so sorry, or all the attention that people might think I'm looking for. I'm not. I just want to put out there, moral of my story here about this teacher is appreciate everyone in your life. Even if they seem like there's a terrible person, even if they seem like they don't care, they do. They care a lot about you, and they want you to succeed in life, especially teachers. The teachers in your life are not out to get you, and I can promise you that. I thought he was out to get me, and I thought he just didn't like me, and I thought he was trying to make me fail. The only one that was preventing me from succeeding in his class was myself. He was the one trying to get me to succeed. And I took that for granted by saying that I wasn't gonna listen to him. Well, I did listen to him, but you know what I mean. You get my gist. And I'm the one that took advantage of him, and I can't believe he's actually gone. And just all the memories I have in his class. He's the only one that I would tell everyone my nickname's Lex, obviously. And he would never call me Lex. For some reason, he always called me Lexi. And it's just crazy to think that maybe if one day I visit that school again, to visit some of my old teachers and see them, that I'm not going to be called Lexi by him. I'm not going to be able to walk in his room and be like, hey, Mr. C, what's up? There's no more wood chipper Wednesday. It's crazy. I'm sorry, I'm crying. I don't mean to, and I didn't mean to make this video 10 minutes almost, but bear with me. So, honestly, don't take anyone for granted. Don't take your teachers for granted. They're trying to help you. Please listen to them. They want what's best for you. They want you to succeed. No one in your school wants you to fail. They want to watch you walk across that stage and get your diploma. They want you to pass their class. They are not out to get you. Do their work. Listen to them. If they think you need help, stay after. Get that help. Tell them how much you appreciate them. Because something like this could happen. This doesn't even just go for teachers. It can go for your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your siblings, anything, your relatives. If you think that they're out to get you, or you think that you don't have to listen to them, or you're too cool to listen to them, or you're grown up enough to make your own decisions, stop. Listen to them. Hear them out. They just want what's best for you in life. And one day is going to come where you might not have that. You might not have that person in your life anymore to tell you this. And I wish I could go back and tell Mr. Cavano and be like, hey, you know, you made an impact on my life. And he did. And moving made me see this. Moving to a different school and having different teachers made me see how much I really should have appreciated him then. Because he was a great teacher. And I'm not going to get that back. And I really wish I could. But yeah, so, alright guys, thank you for watching, and I really appreciate this, and again, I'm not looking for attention about him, I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything like that. I'm just looking to get a message across, to care about your teachers, care about your family, care about your friends, because one day, they might not be here, and you wouldn't have had the chance to tell them how much you appreciate them if you don't do it now. Thanks, guys. Bye.